listening to The Coffee Hour. I'm Sarah Gulseth. Thanks to Concordia University, Wisconsin for your support of The Coffee Hour. You can find out more about Concordia University, Wisconsin at cuw.edu. Joining me in studio today, we have Kristy Krumwiede, Director of Hospice and Palliative Care for Lutheran Senior Services right here in St. Louis. And you are our Organization of the Week this week. So this is very exciting to have you in studio to get an update from Lutheran Senior Services, especially in the area of hospice and palliative, which I believe is something we haven't really talked about before with LSS. So this is exciting. Thanks for being in studio with me today.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
So Lutheran Senior Services, been around for a while. What are some of the new things that have happened with LSS? It sounds like you guys have been quite busy lately.
We have. It's been a big year for Lutheran Senior Services. We expanded our home health offerings at the beginning of this year, acquired St. Louis PACE program, which I can talk more about in detail because even though it's been here in St. Louis for a while, it's the best kept secret. And in July, our organization added 4 more life plan communities in Pennsylvania to LSS, making the 10th largest non-for-profit senior living provider in the nation. And again, number 1, largest nonprofit in the St. Louis area. We really do have a lot to celebrate and to share. And so thanks again for having us on. I really especially want to share some great tips and offerings that we have for those who actually want to stay independent and age in place in their homes. And while we are known for our life plan communities and affordable housing, we also know that many would like to stay in their current homes. And that's where LSS Home and Community-Based Services comes in because we come to you. And what does LSS Home and Community-Based Services offer? So we offer home health. We offer private duty, which is in-home services, different from the home health. And then we provide hospice palliative care, and we started a PACE program, which is an all-inclusive care for the elderly, as well as Aging Answers, which provides resources and information on aging topics.
That sounds like a lot that's happening and a lot of different offerings. I love this part about home and community services, really trying to keep people in their homes. I know that's something that's really important for a lot of aging adults. They want to be able to stay in their homes. Let's talk about the PACE program. You mentioned that. What is the PACE program? What does that offer people?
So PACE stands for Program of All-Inclusive Care for the Elderly. It's a Medicare program that provides medical and social services to help elderly and help human beings, loved ones, stay in their community. It covers all Medicare and Medicaid covered services, plus anything else that a participant that is in the healthcare team decides is needed. This includes prescription drug medicines, emergency services, home care, hospital care, laboratory services, meals, and more. A team of health professionals, including a primary care physician, a nurse, a social worker, physical therapy, and a dietitian work together to coordinate care for each loved one.
Why is it important for Lutheran Senior Services to offer all of these variety of services to keep older adults aging well and aging in their own homes if they want to? Why is this important for LSS?
It's important to provide comprehensive health care, social, recreational, wellness services. So like we have talked about, so you can age in place and stay at home because that is so important to people. And it's becoming increasingly more important to be able to stay at home.
Now, you mentioned that the private duty and the home health, those are two different things. Can you explain the difference between those two things?
Sure. So private duty is in-home services. Those are services that we provide that provide a caregiver. So caregivers will come to your home. They provide care to include meals prepping and taking out trash, light housekeeping, sitting with your loved one, medication administration, things like that. And it is a private caregiver that is hired for you from private duty at HCBS. Now, our home health department, our home health care provides physical therapist, occupational therapist. They provide a nurse to help with wound care. So it's more on the therapy lines. And that happens after or when you're needing that physical therapy or occupational therapy.
Okay, so those are two different ways that LSS is able to provide a variety of different care opportunities for older adults. I know my own parents are, aging as well, and so I'm thinking about them right now, just how all of these different services would be so beneficial for them as well. And it's so great that you're able to provide those. Now, you are the director of Hospice and Palliative. Can you talk a little bit about the difference between what those two things are and how they're different?
Sure. Thank you. Hospice is a specialty that is provided for loved ones who are making the choice to no longer pursue curative treatment. They want to stay at home. They want to be comfortable at home, and they want to be managed at home. Palliative care is more along the lines of you're still wanting those curative treatments, you're wanting aggressive therapies, you're wanting physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapies. And it's very different because palliative care is provided by a nurse practitioner who actually comes to the home. So it's much like a physician visit at home. And that typically happens twice a month. So palliative care is much like going to the doctor and still being treated. Hospice is taking a step further, and we are looking at quality of life. How can we make you comfortable versus quantity of life?
Okay. Do you have examples or stories of people that you've been able to work with to bring these services and this care to people that has really made a difference for them in their lives?
We make a difference every single day in our loved ones' lives, just simply by the fact of, being able to provide that quality of life when people are saying, we don't want anything else done. We provide so many different ranges of services within our hospice program. Music therapy, we provide massage therapy, and we provide that interdisciplinary team that comes out and provides that additional care in your home. Therapies that include music really do help calm patients. And then we also provide a gamut of other services. We have a Rendeavor headset, which is virtual reality. That helps our loved ones to be able to combat social isolation. So the headset takes you anywhere you want to go. You can go on a hot air balloon. You can swim with dolphins. You can go to Paris if you want to. So these are some of the services that we provide for our hospice program. And we have in our palliative program, we have our nurse practitioners who are board certified in palliative medicine. They are skilled and they work with our physician. So they collaborate with your attending doctor to be able to provide that gamut of services for you.
I can tell this. I mean, this is something, it's your job to care about this, but I can tell personally that you really care about this. Why is it important for you to be able to provide all of these services to make life a little bit better for the people in the hospice and palliative care?
It's important because, number one, I feel there is a misconception in regards to hospice care. It does not mean that it's the end. It means that you're taking the step towards this journey to live your life fully. So I really cannot stress that enough, how important it is that people understand it's not the end. People live on our program for years. They can live for years on hospice. It basically just depends on, what's going on and how can we help you extend your life. Actually, patients who on our program actually live longer. It's a documented fact that patients who come to hospice live a longer, fuller, richer life. And those services are provided, like I said, by the interdisciplinary team. It's important to us to be able to educate the community. So again, it goes back to what we started talking about initially in the program, was living your life at home and aging in place and being able to do that. And having these services really empowers you to do so.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes. Tell me more about the people you get to work with to put all of this programming together. You've listed so many different things that fall under you with hospice and palliative and all of the other services that LSS provides. Who's your team? Who do you get to work with every day to bring this joy into people's lives?
So Home and Community-Based Services is located here in the Brentwood area. So we're in the St. Louis area, and that team, we have directors, our vice president, we have social workers, chaplains, CNAs, which are certified nursing assistants. We have a huge volunteer program, which we're always looking to expand our volunteer program and make that bigger. We also are in the We Honor Veterans program. So again, we have veterans volunteers. Our medical director is board certified in hospice and palliative medicine. He also oversees other programs within home and community-based services. So that team, again, social work, chaplain, we have hospice aides, registered nurses, licensed practical nurses, and volunteers. That makes up the hospice team. We have board certified palliative nurse practitioners, physical therapists, occupational therapists, and nurses within our home health program. And then we have private duty caregivers and the director of private duty.
That's a huge team.
It is.
That's really amazing that you and your team and all of the people at LSS put so much care and love into people who may be facing some more difficult times facing hospice care. And I love what you said about the misconception about hospice. Like, it's not the end. It's just a different way on a journey. What else do you want people to know about hospice and palliative care and the services that LSS provides?
So the services we also expanded this year into Pennsylvania. So we're a partner with a nonprofit there as well that became Lutheran Senior Services. So that's also something, that is new into our expansion. And we welcome anyone who has questions or who needs some further education. Please call us. We're available just to answer any questions you might have. And please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are always waiting to help.
Now, you mentioned calling. Where can people find information, reach out to you? A good phone number, a good website for people to learn more about LSS?
lssliving.org, so lssliving.org, or you can call 314-446-2539 for those additional questions.
Kristy Krumwiede, Director of Hospice and Palliative for Lutheran Senior Services. Thanks so much for joining me today on the Coffee Hour.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
You've been listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Sarah Golseth.
At Concordia University, Wisconsin, we believe you were created for a reason: to use your God-given gifts to help others, to live a life of self-sacrifice in a me-first world, to live a life that's uncommon. Whether you're taking one of 50-plus online programs or learning with us in person on the shores of Lake Michigan, you'll be equipped to make an uncommon impact. Learn more at cuw.edu. Concordia University, Wisconsin. Live uncommon.